Hi, my name is Divyaa Advaani. I'm an image consultant, etiquette and a soft skills coach and founder of the brand Suave. I'm also the author of the book called 101 Tips and Tricks to Enhance and Upgrade Yourself and Your Image, which is available on Amazon worldwide. Today on my talk show, I have with me Mr. Vishwa Shah, who is a dietitian and helps you transform your body structure. So I would like to ask Vishwa Shah to now introduce himself. So Vishwa, what is it that got you into this field and how did you start your journey?
So basically, I myself was obese at some point of time in around 2010, and I myself was diagnosed with cholesterol. My cholesterol levels were 377. I was diagnosed with diabetes, which was my HbA1c was 8.9. Unfortunately, I was diagnosed with arthritis as well. So I have basically nine operations. I have been operated 9 times. There are
That's a
two
lot.
screws, wires, and everything on my knees, ankles, and my fingers as well. So yeah, that was the reason. I was 118 myself, 118 kgs, and yeah, that was the pushing factor for me to forcefully come into fitness. But then eventually, after some time, I started enjoying it. So that was the motivation factor. My own clinical issues.
So was it because of your genetic factors that you had these obesities? I mean, the obesity that you had along with the other things that you had with you with respect to your health issues?
Absolutely not. It was all due to my eating pattern, my wrong eating pattern. Back in the day, I mean, girlfriend and Somaya canteen, and I mean, if people knows about Somaya, it's a famous college in Mumbai. So Somaya canteen, and we had a lot of fun. I mean, basically, I was reckless with respect to my eating pattern and my eating style, what to eat, what not to eat, and I was careless basically with respect to my health. So yeah, that was the reason for my cholesterol, diabetes, hypertension, and arthritis.
So you mean that all these factors also help you with, I mean, they distract you from your goals and they start getting you to these health issues.
Absolutely, it went on to the point where I was not able to sit down properly. So just before my operations, I remember a time when I was, I think, seeing which movies, I think Singham or some movie in 2010, and I could not get up from my seat in the theater because of my excruciating pain of arthritis in my knees and my ankles. So it took me two people to just get me up
Lift
and
you.
yeah, and lift me and take out to the theater and all. And that time I realized it's high time now.
So at what point do you think that people should actually start thinking over concentrating on their health, on their fitness, and how important is fitness according to you?
So basically, the earlier they realize it, the better it will be for them throughout their lifetime. The later they realize, hopefully by that time, if there is any damage being done, then things might not be reversible in the first place. So, for example, my cholesterol has been completely reversed,
Oh,
my
lovely.
diabetes has been completely reversed, my hypertension has been completely reversed, but my arthritis cannot is not reversible. So जो screws है वो है, जो wires है वो है, अभी वो
Right.
lifetime रहने वाले हैं. And for the most part, I know that my knee replacement is probably inevitable. The only question which arises is when. So, but then I did not take care of it in the early stage.
But you always knew that you had these issues, and yet you decided to eat whatever you were eating, not work out. Was the case like this, or was it
No, no,
something else?
it was other way around. In fact, due to my lack of awareness and, to be very frank, my own carelessness, this developed in over a period of time. So it's not that कि पहले से नहीं था. No one had it in my family. Arthritis, no one suffers from in my family, as far as I remember. But I am the one who suffered it due to my all bad behavioral pattern with respect to my health.
Right. And with respect to your health, when you talk about your health, is it only the food that matters, or is it also the kind of workouts you do? That also plays an important role. Because many times we've seen people say that, in your entire lifetime, 90% or 80% is what you eat, and 20% is what you work out.
I believe that's not true entirely. It's partially true, but not. It's not that 80-20 का ratio नहीं होता है. So, for example, today only I ate around 6 mangoes and I think 2 scoops of whey protein and one croissant in the Starbucks. And apart from that, I had something else as well. I think yeah, my strawberry milkshake where I was there right now. And although it was in hospital, but yeah, I had my strawberry milkshake. So my point to be made is that just like a car has 4 tires to it, Similarly, assume that our health. Let's talk about our health. Let's consider our health as a health car maybe. So our health car has four components to it, or four tires to of our health car. The first tire is your correct nutrition or nourishment. Remember, I did not use the word diet.
Right.
उसमें सिर्फ मुझे डाई दिखता है, DIE. उसमें
True.
T नहीं दिखता है. Because a person, if I am following a eating pattern for say like maybe 5, 7, 8, 10 years, a random dietitian or a person cannot come into my life and say कि कल से सब कुछ बंद ये बंद ये बंद ये बंद ये बंद.
And it also gets difficult, you know, stop eating what you've been eating for so many years.
Exactly. So the point is, the correct word is correct nourishment or correct nutrition, and not the word diet.
Right.
And in that nutrition, yes, the designing of calories, carb, protein, fat, fiber, biological value of the protein, macros and micros, vitamins and minerals. So everything is covered. Second tire of your health car is your weight training or your resistance training. Now, why is that important? You need to give some kind of resistance to your muscular system. Why? Your muscles are connected to your bones and tendons, and those are connected. Your muscles are connected to your ligaments and tendons, and those are connected to your bones,
Right.
where the bone marrow is, where the RBCs are generated usually. So, giving resistance to your muscular system, making your muscles strong, indirectly makes everything strong around it, right? So that is one of the most important aspects. That can be your gym, your CrossFit, your body weight training, your power yoga. It can be anything.
Right.
Your muscular resistance can come through anything. The third tire of your health car is your cardio or your heart health. Latin में heart को ही cardio बोलते हैं. So that includes your running, swimming, cycling, jogging, elliptical, whatever.
Right.
But a person cannot tell me कि मैंने cardio किया और मेरा exercise हो गया.
True.
Got it? A person cannot tell me कि मैंने running, cycling, swimming, jogging किया और मेरा exercise हो गया दिन का. No, those two are two different tires of your health care, two different components with two different purposes, and both of them have little to do with fat loss.
Right.
Ideally, I mean, ऐसा नहीं है कि जरा भी fat loss लेने देना नहीं है. It has, but then for the most part, no. Two different purposes and two different components. The fourth tire of your health care is your sleep and recovery. Now, that is around 6.5 to 8 hours. Why is sleep and recovery so much important? Because you can only recover in your sleep. There is no other way out.
True.
कितना भी omega 3 खा लो, कितना भी कुछ भी खा लो, you can only be recovered in your deep sleep. So yeah, those are the four components of your health car, and all the four are equally important. अब जब गाड़ी चलाते हैं in a car, we cannot say ना कि एक ही टायर पे 80% is important and the other three tires
They're
are
all equally
20.
important.
Yeah, they're all equally important. You cannot just focus on one tire that the nutrition aspect is important and the others are not. Others are equally important, just as your nutrition part.
Right.
And there is a spare stiffening tire as well, right, in your car, that is used in case, just as a backup. Though there is a stiffening tire in our health car as well, this is known as supplements and medications. Those are, use it as and when required. You
Right.
do not need to use that on a daily basis or maybe on a lifetime basis, but then use it as and when required. So these are the four components. So hopefully that myth is burst that it is 80-20 or something like that.
Right. So in fact, yesterday only I was seeing this video wherein they were saying that, you know, people confuse fats with carbs. Whereas fats are good for your body and they help, they are like a storage. How, you know, when you cannot eat, how the age-old people used to do, like, you know, the Adivasis, when they didn't get food, they used to, these fats which were stored in their body was actually getting converted into their energy part. So many times I think, so would you like to give us some insights over that, about how fats and carbs are different from each other? Because many a times, you know, people, they interchange the two and they start thinking that, you know, if this has fats, it's going to add fats on my body.
So the number one thing which a person needs to focus on, regardless of protein, carbs, fat, fiber, is the amount of calories which they intake. I mean, okay, I can be eating fat more and still be losing weight, and vice versa as well.
Right.
Right? But end of the day, what will the first priority, if a person wants to lose fat in the first place, is the amount of calories which they need to intake. They need to decide that it should be ideally 300, 500 minus the TDE, that is your total daily energy expenditure.
Right.
Ideally. So after that, the first priority should be your protein part. Hopefully, if a person doesn't suffer from kidney issues from the birth or something like that. So the first priority is the protein part. Second important priority is the fat part, because the fats are the one which actually regulate your hormones.
Right.
Right? So, and the remaining calories should be the carbs part. So fat and carbs are completely two different things. And ऐसा नहीं होता है कि फैट खाने से मैं मोटा हो जाऊंगा या फिर मोटी हो जाऊंगी या फिर कार्ब्स खाने से मैं मोटी हो जाऊंगी. इट ऑल डिपेंड्स कि कितना खा रहे हो. व्हाट इज द मॉडरेशन. Are you taking the fats or carbs in your own limit, or are you exceeding those calories with respect to fat and carbs?
Right.
So it all depends on that. I mean, I can be eating a lot of things in front of you, or maybe I can be eating a lot of fats and still lose 8, 9, 10 kilos or whatever my goal is.
So ideally, what do you think should one be doing? So, to maintain a good health, like you said, there are 4 tires of a car are very important. The same applies on our life with the 4 aspects you told us earlier. But anything apart from that, so when people who are not too focused over their workouts or their eating habits or their sleeping patterns, is there a tip you'd like to give them?
So here's the promise which we usually make to all the people. Promise me 10% of your time and I promise you more than 90% of your health.
Lovely.
It is as simple as that.
Right.
If a person is genuinely super busy, then promise us 5% of your time. We promise you more than 80% of your health for a lifetime.
Amazing.
And if you are extremely busy, you don't have even maybe 30 minutes a day. So promise us 2% of your time and we promise you more than 60% of your health for lifetime. It's as simple as that. So basically by that what I mean is at least 3 times a week, maybe resistance train your body, maybe it can be gym, CrossFit, power yoga or maybe bodyweight train at least 3 times a week. Cardio ideally it should be on daily basis. It's not necessary कि एक घंटा करो, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes depending on what.
But it is necessary.
Yeah, but it is necessary.
True.
All these 4 components has to be implemented in your daily routine.
Right.
That is the only secret. There is no other secret. These 4 components should be implemented in your daily routine.
True, and I think also with the world moving at such a fast pace right now, everybody being so engrossed with their work patterns, they even tend to lose out on their sleep. So I think, like you mentioned earlier, that sleep also is very important. To 6 to 8 hours of sleep is required by a human body. So that is also one factor. I think apart from the stress that we are going through, this could also help in reducing stress, right? Sleeping enough.
Sleeping is in fact one of the most important component out of the 4.
Right.
There is no other way out. Your alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 receptors, your beta 1, beta 2 receptors, which are actually beta 2 receptor, which is actually responsible for a majority of your fat loss, actually can only recover in your deep sleep. There is no other way around.
Absolutely.
So I can be eating less calories, I can be doing my nutrition perfectly fine, I can be weight training 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week, I can be doing cardio all day long, but still not be losing fat.
True.
Because
and I think they also reach at a plateau at a point.
Exactly.
Right.
My receptors have not been recovered.
But somebody who is at a plateau at the moment, like, this happens with me also since I work out, so I know where you are coming from. There's a time when I reach a plateau and then I'm like, okay, what is happening? I'm doing so much, but still nothing happening. So what is a tip you would like to give the viewers upon that?
So usually what happens with the plateau is people go way too strict. They ignore the importance of cheat meals. Mm-hmm. In fact, cheat meals are one of the most important aspects of the whole equation. I mean,
this is going to be like a gala time for our viewers to listen to this. Having cheat meals, guys, you can have cheat meals. You need to have cheat meals.
Yeah, maybe probably once in 10 days, once in a week, or once in a fortnight. But you need to have it because the point is to make sure that your body doesn't go into starvation mode.
Absolutely.
If at all your body does go into starvation mode by any chance, then it will be impossible for you to lose weight or fat.
Oh, that also happens? Wow, that's an eye-opener for me.
Yeah, because end of the day, what your body will think, I mean, what your brain will think, that this specific person is not giving me enough amount of energy which I need to sustain myself. So whatever stored energy is there, I will make sure that I will lose it minimum amount of it, which usually it's fat.
So what would you say about intermittent fasting then? Because that is the kind of thing, people nowadays are getting a lot into intermittent fasting. Which, if according to you, if you say that your body goes into a starvation mode, and that is a little bit, I think, what is happening in the intermittent fasting, isn't it?
No, intermittent fasting is completely different and starvation mode is completely different. In intermittent fasting, for example, if I have a window of maybe say 8 hours, right, 16-8, yeah, usually people do that.
Right.
But in that 8 hours, if I'm having my enough protein, I'm having my enough calories to get the job done,
the whole thing.
Exactly.
Right.
Then it's not known as starvation mode.
Okay.
But by starvation mode, I don't mean that you literally starve yourself. By starvation mode, I mean even if in intermittent fasting, for example, if the window is of 8 hours and you literally give very little food to your body, then eventually you will end up in starvation zone,
Right.
where your body will be in the tendency that I won't be giving up on fat because that is what I have left with.
Absolutely.
But even in intermittent fasting, you are giving good amount of calories, your protein content, your minimum requirement of fats. I mean, that is 0.25 grams per lb body weight, ideally, to maintain all your hormonal things. So usually that won't be a problem, and good enough amount of carbs to supply you with enough amount of energy. So that's it.
And what about people who, in general, eat with very little? You know, there are people who cannot eat too much food. So what about it? Because you know, people they have this conception that you know, if you eat too much, you gain weight. But what about people who eat too little? Because even not eating helps you put on fat.
Not eating enough usually does not lead to fat gain directly.
Okay.
But if that's going on since a very long time, then that individual case needs to be studied. I mean, that cannot be generalized for everyone, to be very frank.
Okay.
Either that person might be suffering from some other disorder or clinical issue. That's the only case. Otherwise, if a person eats really, really less, then usually it's very unlikely that the person is fat.
Oh, okay.
Or else there is another case where he thinks he really eats less, he or she,
But is
then
eating a lot.
not in
Not
terms of
okay.
maybe eating part, maybe in the terms of drinking part. Maybe the drinks can be anything.
Right.
So he or she might tell me that okay, मैं सिर्फ इतना ही खा रहा हूँ, I just 2 rotis or something like that. But then when I figure out, when I take the nutrition recall and I ask them to fill the form and take the nutrition, I realize, oh, ये तो खाता इतना ही है, but पीता तो उससे 4 गुना ज़्यादा है.
Right.
I mean, it can be anything, not only drinks or anything. It can be anything.
Right.
Right. So when you measure the overall calories, usually that is way higher than you expected them to tell us.
Correct.
So it can be the case.
So with normal food, one can lose weight, right? Like the traditional food that many of our Indian households have been having, like you know, normal roti, wheat roti, and all. Because nowadays, since everybody has become so health conscious, they all move on to either oats or you know different kind of protein stuff and protein shakes and things like those. But there are still, you know, our grandmothers, our mothers, they probably tell us that, you know, stop doing all this. We never had something like this at our point of time. Why are you doing this now? So how much impact do you think does that have?
So there are two ways to look at it. The number one is, yes, your own home food is great. There is no need to change. For example, wheat roti खा रहे हो तो wheat से बाजरा है उसपे जाने का जरूरत नहीं है unless and until you suffer from maybe glucose intolerance of some other aspect. So that's a different story. But then usually you don't need to change that. Second thing people need to understand is कि 50-60 साल पहले the utilization of my food was really good.
True.
जहाँ पे मैं either दिन भर में कुछ ना कुछ physical activity करता रहता था in the name of work.
Right.
But in today's world and time where just like you and I are sitting in a Starbucks and you know we are having I just had my meal and तो जहाँ पे दिन में 8 से 10 घंटा बैठना है, the utilization of the food is not that great.
Correct.
And yeah, with that aspect, yes, things need to be changed. Since we are not moving, our food needs to. So
there has to be a movement in either of the two.
But if at all you are a person who you know works out and you know is fairly active physically, usually that's not the case. Then you don't need to change your food patterns unless and until it is really really pathetic.
Right.
So it goes both way around. I mean, both the things you said are actually right. Third thing, the concept of soil degradation, which we had learned in our
School days,
right? So 30-50 साल पहले जो चीजें मिलती थी हमें, the nourishment which we used to
it
get
was
in the
more
specific
pure.
food,
Yeah.
that was way much higher.
Correct.
In today's world, that is not that great.
Absolutely.
So that is the reason the supplementation part also becomes so crucial in the whole equation.
Right.
So, for example, if you might have heard कि no, I don't take supplements. Many people are against the supplements, including me. I'm not against it, but I'm not in favor of them as well.
Right.
But then we need to understand कि जो चीज, for example, अगर lemon ले लेते हैं, विटामिन सी यूजुअली लेमन में एक नींबू में 25-30 mg मिलता था पहले. अभी तो 5 mg गलती से मिलता है. कितना, if my body's requirement is around 500 mg, मैं कितने नींबू खाऊंगा?
True.
कितने ऑरेंजेस या कितने?
Absolutely.
Yeah. My point. So it's their whole pie is made out of many small. The whole pizza is made out of many small pies.
Small pies, right?
Yeah, so that is the case.
Lovely. Anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers?
Just keep it simple. Promise yourself 10% of your time, and for the most part, you will be healthy enough for 90% of the time or more. Second thing is just work out 3 times a week if possible. Do at least 10-15 minutes of cardio. I mean, get rid of crap food wherever possible. Wherever not, then you can definitely enjoy it. एक ही life मिला है. अगर खाया नहीं तो जिंदा क्यों हो फिर? So, and that is where the cheat meals comes into the picture.
Right.
Apart from that, yeah, sleep well, and that's it. Be smart, be sexy.
Lovely, lovely. So thank you so much, Vishwa, for your time. It was lovely having you on the talk show, and looking forward to a great future ahead with our entire upcoming generation, I would say, since they have been very irrespective and very intolerant to things that are available, the good, happy and healthy meals that are available. So probably, hopefully, things like these would, the knowledge that you just shared with us would probably help them grow in a better manner and see in a better manner.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. It was lovely having you on a talk show today.
Same here. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. This was all about Mr. Vishwa Shah today. For more such details, keep watching this YouTube channel. Thank you.